How might you react to hearing about the events of that day? What would it feel like if you were a young policeman who was ordered to use the fire hoses and hose down those kids? When schools were desegregated, that means that suddenly, Mr. Olvera talked about these words, segregation and desegregation. And he said that facilities were either for black people or white people, and that went for schools too. What would it feel like when schools were desegregated to be the first black child in a school that had been all white forever? What would it feel like to be a white child in that school and maybe meet a black person for the first time? What would it feel like to be related to Bull Connor? Well, we thought about those things and we developed some monologues, partly through improvisation, definitely through lots of writing and rewriting and peer editing. And we got them down to the beautifully distilled versions that you'll see in just a little bit. We put them all together and I built a frame around it using language that comes directly from literature, from the Human Rights Campaign. You'll see songs, words from the song We Shall Overcome, which you'll recognize. There is a pledge that the kids in the Children's Crusade took. There are words directly from that. And this is a very different kind of play. There's no set, there's no props, there are just 12 actors and what they say. And it takes maybe a little bit of extra courage to perform it for you. And you're always a wonderful audience, and today I'm going to ask you to be especially mindful of what's expected of an audience. That all of the attention should be on them, and that we shouldn't hear or see or sense anything in the audience to take the attention away from them, and that you just relax and watch and listen with your eyes and your ears and your hearts and your minds wide open as you see the 8th grade theater class's response to the movie you just watched, the 8th grade theater class.
I believe that every person has worth as an individual.
I believe that every person is entitled to dignity and respect, regardless of race or color.
I believe that every thought and every act of racial prejudice is harmful.
If it is my thought or act, then it is harmful to me, as well as to others.
Therefore, from this day forward, I will strive daily
to eliminate racial prejudice from my thoughts and actions.
I will discourage racial prejudice by others at every opportunity.
I will treat all people with dignity and respect.
And I will strive daily to honor this pledge,
knowing that the world will be a better place because of my effort.
This is the pledge of the Children's Crusade of 1963.
On May 2nd, 1963, hundreds of African American students gathered at 6th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama to march downtown in peaceful protest of segregation.
They were taught by adults in the black community to march peacefully.
But the police in Birmingham saw them as a threat and lined up to block their march.
When they got to the police lines, hundreds of them were arrested and taken to jail in paddy wagons and even school buses because there were so many of them, and they were just kids.
But hundreds more of them got together the very next day for another march, and then the police commissioner, a man named Bull Connor, told the local police and fire departments to use force to stop the demonstration.
Kids were being blasted by high-pressure fire hoses, clubbed by police officers, attacked by police dogs, and arrested. But still they kept coming day after day.
Those kids were amazing. They were just kids like us. Some were older and some were even younger, but there were hundreds of kids our age. In the end, there were thousands of kids in the Children's Crusade.
TV and newspaper reporters were there and captured it all, and the whole world heard about it and saw it on TV.
Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and many other adults have struggled for years for basic human rights for all Americans, but the Children's Crusade really caught everyone's attention.
Millions of people in the country were disgusted by the violence of the police against these children,
including President John F. Kennedy.
Many of the kids who marched that day are still alive today, and our grandparents and great-grandparents and some of our teachers remember hearing about it and seeing it on TV.
Today, to commemorate Martin Luther King Day, we honor the memory of the kids in the Children's Crusade, who marched peacefully and helped change a nation.
We have created fictional characters and written monologues to show how kids might have been affected by the Children's Crusade and school desegregation, then and now.
week ago, I did a horrible thing. I just remember sitting there with the rest of the firemen. I saw in my line of fire a young black man, my age, I reckon. And I flipped the switch. I saw him as I was look. I can't even explain it. But the next thing I saw was his feet coming out from under him as he fell. Dogs were on him in no time. I saw blood on the pavement as they were arresting him. Why did I have to do it? He was just my age. Why should I have control over him? At the end of the day, I looked over the damage and I thought, what have we done? What have I done?
Today I found out I was going to a new school. I don't want to go, but my parents are making me. I bet it's an all-white school. I bet half of them never even seen a black person before. I don't even belong there. They don't even want me there. What's the point of me going? I'll admit it. I'm scared. Scared that they're all going to treat me different just because of my skin color. Why don't they understand? I'm just like them, but black.
Hey, did you hear those black people are coming to our school next week?
Yeah, I heard. And I can't believe it's happening. There has to be more people out there like me. I know there are. For the people who can see through this act, through this equality. But they'll be here in a few weeks, learning what I've learned, sitting where I've sat. And I just don't understand why more people don't see how this is wrong. They need their own place with only people of their own kind. I don't care what they do with them, as long as the first day of school, I don't need to see any of them here. As long as I know I wouldn't have to be breathing the same air as them.
My parents want to leave because black people are moving to our neighborhood. I have to leave my home, my community, my friends, and why? Because my parents are ignorant. I can't comprehend why they have the thoughts they have about other people, about kids my age. The truth is, the only difference is that those kids' parents aren't cowards.
As if it wasn't bad enough watching everyone leave the classroom and being the only one left, I had to walk home alone too. My friends, all arrested. We watched the news as we ate dinner. The more I watched, the more guilty I felt for not being there. I think my dad noticed because he turned off the TV. After all, it was his fault I didn't get to go. He said I'd get hurt. I was actually kind of glad he turned it off. It just made me think about the things I was missing out on. Making history and meeting a white person. I've never seen one before.
I overheard my parents talking yesterday. They were talking about the march, and my mother sounded really scared and said it was horrible that kids got to do something so dangerous. But I think it was amazing. It was amazing how all those kids stuck up for what they believed in so they could have an equal future.
Today our teacher told us about a march in Birmingham. She said we'd be getting some new kids next week. Said they were black. I've never met a black person before. Mom says I should move schools. Says that there might be fights, that I might get hurt. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave my friends. I don't want to be that new kid. And I don't want to be alone. I really shouldn't have to go.
He's just standing there. He looks sad and afraid. And I want to say hi, but what would everyone else think? Think I'm weird? They think I'm his friend? Well, I'm not. I've never met a black person before. And since I have to say he doesn't look much different than I do, just with a different skin color. Maybe I should go over there. He'll be nice. No, he's different. Hi, my name's Riley.
It all happened so long ago. 50 years to be exact. I wasn't in the march, but I saw it anyway. Can you close your eyes and think back 50 years ago? Imagine how courageous those kids had to be. Hoses with a pulsing jet aimed right at them, vicious dogs snapping their teeth, and the policemen arresting them for simply marching. I didn't know any black people when I grew up. There wasn't any where I lived. When I think back to the Children's Crusade, all I can think about is those poor, innocent kids desperate for a better future. Then I wonder, could I have done what they did? I don't think so. I would have been too scared.
Bull Connor, the police commissioner that rallied the police and told them to stop the Children's Crusade from happening. Yeah, that's my great-grandfather. He was the one who hurt those little kids. I saw videos of it, of the march on TV, and those kids looked so scared. Hoses burned them, dogs mauled them, and people put them in jail for doing nothing. I'm ashamed to be even distantly related to him. And to think, there was terrible, fatal prejudice against Irish people. And I know for a fact that Bull Connor was full Irish. And then he goes and does the damage that he's done. Why?
Wait, what did he just say? The march was only 50 years ago? Geez, I bet some of the kids are still alive today. They were so brave, and they were just kids. I would have never been able to do that. I would have been way too scared.
I just saw it on TV. It was terrible. The hoses shooting down those little kids, the dogs thrashing, and the police arresting them, and for marching peacefully. Sometimes I wonder, why are people just so terrible to other people? I wouldn't do it. It's morally wrong. It doesn't matter what it's about, whether it's about race, religion, or gender. So why is it human nature?
When I see wrong, I will stand up.
I will stand up.
When I see wrong, I will speak up.
I will speak up.
I will be a force for good. We shall overcome.
Deep in my heart, I believe it.
We shall overcome.
I believe that every person has worth as an individual.
I believe that every person is entitled to dignity and respect, regardless of race or color.
I believe that every thought and every act of racial prejudice is harmful.
If it is my thought or act, then it is harmful to me, as well
As to others.
Therefore, from this day forward, I will strive daily.
to eliminate racial prejudice from my thoughts and actions.
I will discourage racial prejudice by others at every opportunity.
I will treat all people with dignity and respect.
And I will strive daily to honor this pledge,
Knowing that the world will be a better place because of my effort.
I will strive. I will strive.
I will strive daily to eliminate racial prejudice.
Knowing that the world will be a better place.
Because I believe.
I believe every person is worth it.
Every person is entitled to dignity and respect.
Every person.
I will strive to honor this pledge.
Every day, knowing I can make the world a better place.
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 From this day forward.
Miss Sugarman just to thank her for all of her hard work, putting her time into this piece so we can perform it to you guys. So we just want to give this to her. It's nothing big, but it's just something to show that we appreciate her. Thank you.
very much, but that standing ovation, that was for you. You're the flowers.
Kept putting in these horrible spots where I have to follow amazing things. So let me just say to you, let me just say what a gift you've given us. And actually, Ms. Sugarman, I think it's been a gift to lots of schools around the country. This is something that other schools should perform. Your words, your work. It's really, really powerful. And got a lot of us thinking. So, I'm not sure if I can let it end quite yet, so I just have to give you one more round of applause. I know that sometimes when you're in the midst of doing a play and you spend weeks and months on it, that sometimes you can kind of wonder, is it going to make the powerful impact that we hope it's going to make? And you really did. So here's one of the things I challenge all of you. Many of you know the people on this stage, okay? Especially 8th graders. But you know, some other people in this room, of course, in different grades, know these people who've given us this gift, and I really hope that you find a time today to individually thank them and tell them more than just thank you. Tell them how it made you feel and something that really affected you, because I think it probably affected lots of us. So make that be your challenge as you leave this place today. And I'm really serious. We need to find a way that other people can perform this work, because it's pretty powerful. And so thank you. Thanks for being a great audience. And I think it's time just to go on to our next class. So 5th and 6th graders, why don't you go on ahead? Okay.